Section 9 of the Adventure Blanket, Adventuring Cables, is this section, which is the Woodland Wanders. It's 2 inches wide, so again it's another super quick, super easy and very traditional looking cabled section for you. So this is a little sample of the section that I've worked up, just to remind myself how to make it ready for the video. Now there's a few things I wanted to remind you of. They are always the case when you are crocheting cables on one side only, because remember, for all of the sections of this blanket, our reverse side, the wrong side, is really quite flat. All of the texture is going onto the right side, the front side. So as a reminder, this particular section, the cable is worked over 5 stitches, although each row has a total of 9 stitches. Only 5 of them contain the cable. When working a front post double or a front post treble crochet, you'll work into the stitch 2 rows below. So for example, if you are working on row 5, you will then work your front posts into the stitches from row 3. If you're working on row 13, you'll work into the front post stitches from row 11, and so on all the way up. So front post stitches are always worked 2 rows below. Single crochets are always worked into the previous row. So if you're working on row 11, you'll work your single crochets into row 10. Don't worry about it. If you're new to cables and you just find this video for the first time, I will walk you through it as we go. Each front post stitch, whether it's a double, a treble, a double crochet, 2 together, whatever it happens to be, counts as a stitch. So when we're working the rows, we've worked our front post stitch 2 rows below. Then we would always skip one on the row below because it counts as a stitch. So if we're then putting a single crochet into the stitch that we've just effectively worked with the front post and then single crocheting across, we're going to end up with way more stitches than what we have. So these cables count as a stitch, and we need to make sure that we're accommodating that when we're working along the row. So if you work a front post stitch, you're going to skip 1 stitch from the row below. If you work 2 front posts, leave 2 stitches from the row below before working the next stitch. It will all become very clear during the video, don't worry about it. So every even numbered row in this pattern, and all of the cable patterns that we're doing in the Adventure Blanket Cal, will be a simple single crochet row. They are all wrong side rows, so even numbered rows are wrong side rows, and they're single crochets all the way across, so we're not worrying about front posts or anything like that. It's just a super simple row. Row 3 is probably going to be the most difficult row because that's where you're setting up your cables. Don't worry about it. I will show you some tricks that I've picked up along the way to help you find the right posts to work into and things. But once you've worked row 3, you'll find that this works up really super quickly. And with that said, let's get on and start our section 9, the Woodland Wanders section. So I'm going to start with my slip stitch. I have my 5mm hook here and my 4-weight yarn, and we're going to chain 10. And then we're going to work into the second chain from the hook. So we're not counting the chain that's on the hook, and we're not counting this first chain. We're going to start from this second chain here from the hook, and we're simply going to work a single crochet. And then we're going to work a single crochet into every chain across. So at the end of row 1 we will have 9 single crochets. So that's what we're looking like at the end of row 1. Row 2 is a wrong side row, so this will be an easy single crochet row. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet into that first stitch and each stitch across. So at the end of this row we will have a total of 9 single crochets. And this is what we're looking like at the end of row 2. So row 3 is going to be probably the trickiest row for you, because this is where we're setting up the cables. So we're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet into this very first stitch. Now, for the purposes of the cable row, this chain 1 from row 1 counts as a post. So even though it doesn't count as a stitch when we're working row 2, we're going to count it as a post. Otherwise, we're going to find that we're 1 stitch short by the time we reach the end of the row. So we're going to front post double crochet around the next stitch. So remember, front posts, we're not working into the row immediately below, we're working 1 row below that. So it's this row here we're looking at row 1 and we're working the posts. So this is going to count as our first post, and this one is our second post, which is the one that we're working into because we've already worked 1 stitch. So we'll yarn over and we'll insert our hook from the front, slide it across the back and back out of the front again, so the post of that stitch from row 1 sits on top of the hook. Then we're going to yarn over and pull through, so we have 3 loops in our hook. Then we'll yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. And that is our front post double crochet completed. Now, because we've worked the front post stitch, when we look for the stitches from row 2 for what we're working into, we've got our single crochet here, and then this stitch here we leave unworked because that is the front post. If we work that stitch, we'll end up increasing our row count, and we do not want to do that. So in the next stitch, so we're going to not work this one because that's the front post, we're going to be working into this stitch here. So we're going to work a single crochet and we will work a single crochet into the next stitch. And then we're going to front post double crochet 2 together, which is the most complicated stitch in this whole pattern, but it's not a very difficult one to master once your eyes know which posts you're working into. So we're working that over 3 stitches. So if we look at row 1, we have our front post stitch here, and then we worked a single crochet for this one and a single crochet for this one. So we're working our double crochet 2 together across these 3 stitches. So I'll just pop my finger there next to the first one. We will yarn over, we will insert our hook from the front to the back and back out the front again of that next post stitch from row 1, and we will yarn over and pull through, so we have 3 loops in our hook. Then we will yarn over and pull through 2 loops. Then we're going to yarn over, we're going to skip the next post, and we're going to work a front post double crochet into this stitch here. So we'll insert our hook from the front to the back and back out the front again of that stitch, yarn over and pull through. So now we have 4 loops in our hook. Then we'll yarn over, pull through 2 loops, so we're left with 3 loops in our hook, and we'll yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that is our double crochet 2 together worked. It counts as 1 stitch. So we'll skip 1 stitch from the immediate row below, because this front post double crochet 2 together counts as that stitch, and then in the next stitch we're going to single crochet, and we will single crochet into the next stitch. And then here we've got 2 stitches left. We're going to front post double crochet into the next stitch, so we're going to not work row 2, we're going to go down to row 1 and work our front post stitch, and then we will single crochet into that last stitch of the row, and this is what we're looking like at the end of row 3. So for row 4, this is a wrong side row, so we're literally going to just chain 1 and single crochet into the top of each stitch across. So we're working immediately into those stitches from row 3. We're not going to worry about any front posts, just simple single crochets all the way across. So at the end of this row we have 9 single crochets, and then we will turn and chain 1. So for row 5 we're going to single crochet into that first stitch, and then we're going to front post double crochet around the next stitch. So it's a front post stitch, so we're actually going to front post around this first front post from row 3. So we'll yarn over, we'll insert our hook straight under that stitch to make sure the post is on top of our hook. We will yarn over and pull through, so we have 3 loops in our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we will skip 1 stitch from row 4 and we'll start working into this next stitch. Single crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to front post treble crochet into the front post double crochet from row 3. So we will yarn over twice, because this is a front post treble, and where we have the top of this inverted V, we're going to slide our hook under that post, yarn over and pull through. So now we have 4 loops on our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, so we're left with 3 loops in our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, so we're left with 2 loops in our hook, and yarn over and pull through 2 loops. That is our front post treble crochet completed. It counts as 1 stitch, so we skip 1 stitch from row 4, and we're going to single crochet into that next stitch, which will be just above the post stitch that we've just worked into. And then we're going to front post treble crochet again around that same post stitch that we've just worked. So we'll yarn over twice, we'll insert our hook under those front post double crochet 2 together, yarn over and pull through for 4 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops. Again, this counts as a stitch, so we're going to skip the next stitch from row 4, and we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to front post double crochet around the next stitch, which would be this last front post double crochet from row 3. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook under that front post stitch, yarn over and pull through for 3 loops on our hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we will single crochet into that last stitch. And this is what we're looking like at the end of row 5. Row 6 is a wrong side row, so we're going to chain 1, single crochet in that first stitch and each stitch across. At the end of this row we will have a total of 9 stitches. And this is what we're looking like. So row 7, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to single crochet into that first stitch, and then we're going to front post double crochet into that front post double crochet from row 5, and then we will skip the next unworked stitch from row 6, and we will single crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to front post double crochet around this front post treble crochet from row 5. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook under that front post treble crochet, yarn over and pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then we will skip the next unworked stitch from row 6 and we will single crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to front post double crochet around this next front post stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook under that front post stitch from row 5, yarn over and pull through for 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, this counts as a stitch, so we're going to leave that next stitch from row 6 unworked, and we will single crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to front post double crochet into this last front post stitch of the row. I'm assuming that you're quite comfortable with the front post double crochet now. And then we're going to single crochet into that last stitch. And this is what we're looking like at the end of row 7. And row 8 is a repeat of all of the other wrong side rows. So we will turn, chain 1, and we're going to single crochet into that first stitch and each stitch across for a total of 9 single crochets. And this is what the right side looks like. And then basically all we're doing from here is repeating rows 3 to 8 until your blanket section is 60 inches high, or as high as you would like your blanket to be. So because row 3 was worked into a single crochet row. I'm going to quickly work row 3 with you again so you can see how it all falls into place on the repeats. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to single crochet into the first stitch, then we're going to front post double crochet around the next stitch, which is this stitch here from 2 rows below. And then we'll skip the next stitch, we'll leave that stitch unworked because this front post stitch counts, and we will single crochet into the next stitch and the next stitch. And then we're going to work a front post double crochet 2 together. But this is going to be easier because we already have our front post stitches. So if you can see from this sample, this is where the front post double crochet 2 together creates that diamond shape and closes the point. So we will yarn over and we will insert our hook into that first front post stitch, yarn over and pull through. So we have 3 loops in our hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, so we're left with 2 loops in our hook. Then we are going to yarn over, insert our hook under that second front post stitch from 2 rows below, yarn over and pull through. So now we have 4 loops in our hook. So we'll yarn over, pull through 2 loops, so we're left with 3 loops in our hook, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. This stitch counts as 1 stitch, so we'll leave the next stitch on the row below unworked, and we'll work a single crochet into the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to front post double crochet around this next front post stitch. And then we will single crochet into that last stitch. So that is how the repeat of row 3 works moving forward on your blanket. Don't forget to check out all of the links in the description below. There are links there to the roundup for the adventure in Cables Crochet Along, where you too can make this gorgeous section of the blanket, and there's also links to the blog post that specifically gives you the written instructions and a little bit more information about this section. So I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today. Please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.